In this episode,
in pickleball,
Yeah.
you're doing this movement a lot, like backhand.
Okay. Yeah.
So you are working your infraspinatus.
Okay.
So you mimic that movement with weight.
Okay.
So you're working that muscle in its ideal environment. Okay. You're challenging it without trying to use other muscles.
Wow.
Okay. Then you do your stabilizer muscles with, let's say, for the middle trapezius, you do it with the scapular retraction, we call it.
Like with certain bands or
No, it's cables.
cable. Okay.
Yeah, we have a machine that we love so much, and whenever people see me walking in the gym, they, oh, here we go again, that guy gonna
cable guy.
stay in that machine forever. You know, you don't want to like do curls with cable and the cables are wider than your shoulder, then you're gonna start doing this. But if you do that regularly with practice and drills, you will improve tremendously.
Hello and welcome to the program. My name is Jacobus Hollowijn. This is a show about health healing and healthy lifestyles. And for those of you who remember the English comedy show Monty Python Flying Circus, remember what they would say in the beginning. And now for something completely different. I feel that today's program is one of those, something completely different. When you think you got things figured out about working out and getting fit, or just taking care of yourself better in a physical way, then today you're going to learn something that may undo everything you've learned and start all over again in a good way. Let me say it this way, you will build on what you already know, but the new build-up will be a slight change, moving away from what you have learned. And we're going to talk today about an amazing app. We're going to talk about a very practical website, possibly training that you can use every day, and a book. It's called Beyond Sets and Reps. We do that with my guest today, Moe Larbi. Moe, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you are, the more I study about your topic, the more I realize you are a very unique individual with what you have learned, where you come from, what you have done since you were young, and where you are today. And I do know that people may be a little confused when they hear workouts. They think, oh yeah, it's not for me. This is for bodybuilders. But tell us what this whole concept that you're working on, SmartTraining 365, your book, Beyond Sets and Reps, and the Brig 20, what is the concept behind it?
Right, so the concept is understanding that not all exercises have the same efficiency and they don't always give you the results that you're expecting, especially when people go to the gym and don't have knowledge and they will see other people doing other exercises, so they will copy them without really knowing if that exercise works for them or not. So it started with me trying different exercises like everyone.
Yeah.
And yes, you get results because we all have different genetics response. So you can do an exercise that is not efficient, but your muscle can respond highly to that exercise just because your hormones, your body responds to any stimulus. But
And I like that already because for many people thinking about working out and going to a gym, besides the fact that they have or have no time, once you're in the gym, you look at all the different body types and all the different age groups. You have people who are heavier built, bigger shoulders, wider hips, shorter legs, shorter torso. So I can understand what you're saying. It's really all individualized.
right, and it goes also deeper than that because I'm going to talk a little bit about my system in more detail so people understand like what makes an exercise efficient versus not efficient and when you should use that exercise, and sometimes even an exercise that we consider not efficient can be very beneficial to someone.
Wow.
As long as you understand the principle that qualify an exercise as efficient. So I started doing different kind of exercises like everyone. I've been working out since I was 18, and I've been also a tennis
Yeah, you were a
player
tennis player for a long time. You
for a
started
long
when you were
time.
8.
Yes,
Yeah.
I started since I was 8, and that was everything. But starting from like 16, 15, 16, I started working out. And of course, by that time, your goal is to lift the heaviest weight possible because that's what you thought.
And you're a
It's
guy.
like, yeah, exactly, right? So you have to keep up with the strongest guy in the gym, and that's what you compare yourself to. But then later, I started like watching more when internet, you start having YouTube and you
Yeah.
start watching videos. Then you see different type of workout, you try different things, which helped me a lot. But also I got injured trying different things.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's all part of the experience as long as you learn from those things. You don't repeat the same mistake,
correct.
right? So I continued doing that for a few years. Then, when I was in Dubai, I was a tennis coach, but then the recession happened during
8, 2009.
7, 8. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, something like that. Yeah. I lost most of my tennis clients, and that's when I started doing like personal training. So I got certified then to
Yeah.
dig deeper and understand like about strength training. And I worked in Houston after that. I moved and I worked with different type of people, different culture as compared to in Dubai. So you see that many different people adapt to different lifestyle, different recommendations. You have to talk to them differently because some people will perceive it as like, oh, you have to do this, or
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
everyone is different, and that worked for me because now I'm able to adapt based on the background, the age, the understanding of
The goals.
training goals. And at that time I was doing what I felt that is correct. And the reason I say this because today I think differently than that.
Yeah.
But I was doing my best at that time. So in Houston, also I learned different stuff, different training systems. There were more equipment, bigger gyms, and that's how I started understanding that okay, there are so many exercises
Yeah.
that, for example, if you go to the gym and they say, "Oh, look at this gym. It has 7 machines for the biceps."
Yeah.
Okay, one is like this, one is up, one is sideways,
Yeah.
all these different exercises, and you'll say, wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Because people think that you have to work the muscle in different angles, different machines, different stimulus. You have to trick the muscle.
Yeah.
And we will talk about this
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
But in the end of the day, if your goal is, let's say, to get fast result and optimal, muscle loading, how do you know which of these 6 or 7 machines will give you the best results?
You don't
Someone,
know unless you try.
right? If you try, so you gotta, when you say you try, that means you're gonna spend some time on
Yeah.
each one,
Weeks, months.
weeks, months, and the price in the process you will learn, but at the same time you might get injured, you might not get the results you want. So there are principles, and this is something that I discovered in 2018 when I met Doug Brignoli, and I loved his system. And many people know us through SmartTraining 365 because we were doing YouTube videos to explain the factors that determine exercise efficiency, and that when an exercise meets all these factors, it qualifies as the number one exercise for that particular muscle.
Okay. Yeah.
So back to like how you determine which exercise is the best out of the 6 machines,
Yeah, yeah.
right? If an exercise meets these 16 factors, it qualifies as the number one. So for a person who don't understand these 16 factors, they will choose the exercise based on self-preference or based because this one they can lift heavier weight or they feel more comfortable with.
Right.
So they might leave the number one option, which is right there, and choose an exercise that gives them more satisfaction but less
Effectiveness.
results and less effectiveness. And this is why when I started doing this with Doug, I wanted to simplify these factors because in the beginning, even for myself, I wasn't able to grasp it fast. I had to train and try, and then I had the privilege.
And you had to switch your brain
Big
also.
time,
Yeah.
because it was a different language. You know, it was easy once you put your mind into it and understand that, okay, this is what it means when it says like an exercise should, the strength curve of an exercise should match the strength curve of a muscle.
Okay.
Or it should be the alignment should be there, not like misalignment. All these factors, when I talked to Doug and he explained it to me, and then I read his book, then I started understanding these factors until I started also use them in different goals. Because when we were doing these videos, it was more toward bodybuilding. But those who understand now that these principles can be applied to different disciplines, not only bodybuilding.
Okay.
So that's how, my career started changing until I understood more about exercise efficiency.
I was thinking in preparation to the interview that as human beings, we all move. But we move based on what we learned. We move based on trying to balance a pain, an ache, a tightness, an injury that we've had. We start preferring one side of the hips. We might prefer the right hip before the left hip, and now we start having problems in the spine, and then we start having problems in the shoulder, and before you know it, we start walking differently. And I thought about your technique or this whole system, the Brick 20, the SmartTraining 365, that it's really for anybody, because people need to learn how their body works. If you're at all interested,
Absolutely.
no matter what shape you're in, that you say, I am not happy with how my body is moving, how I feel when I go to bed, how I feel when I wake up in the morning, how I feel after exercises, how it affects the rest of my day. Let's say you exercise early in the morning and then the rest of the day you're just wiped out, you're actually really tired, then in a way you didn't do something right. And so what I got out of this is that anybody at any point in their life, if they feel they want to start learning more about their body, your system will show them how to do it right from the beginning, and that all of a sudden, now they can start developing. Once I think you start feeling better inside your body, you almost want to go beyond that and start building more strength, more fitness, whatever that means.
That's true. Look, to me, when I see people in the gym and they try different workouts, it's still good because it's better than not doing anything.
Correct.
But if you want to be efficient with your training, you have to do your investigation. You have to learn. It's like if you're going to invest your money, will you invest without thinking where to invest so you get the most out of your investment?
You're right.
You're going to do that. Well, here, your energy, your age, your time is the most valuable thing that you're going to invest. So why not doing the research and try to do like something that will work for your body?
Yeah.
Take your time, understand it. I know it's biomechanics and you have to try different things, but it's worth it because once you try that, you will discover something that you never experienced. So how you will know something that you never experienced without trying it?
Totally.
Right? So it's a sensible system. Like people can go to the website, can watch our YouTube videos, they can watch it and they will understand it, right? We even have courses and stuff.
Yeah, the courses are impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all to break it down because they don't want to read books, so they can watch videos. But the main thing is they have to put on the time to be able to learn about the system. That way they know all their energy, effort is going in the right direction, right? So to me, education is important.
I watched your video, 16 factors that are important in exercises. Doug Brignoli came up with the Brick 20. Is there a difference between the 16 factors that you talk about and the Brick 20?
So Doug Brignoli, he had exercises in his book. They weren't called Brick 20.
Okay.
So when I first met Doug, we had kind of interest in spreading the word. So he had a book, and I created a certification program based on his book.
Okay.
So when I did that, I had to come up with a name for the exercises. So I told him, Doug, I'm going to name these exercises Brick 20. In the beginning, they weren't 20. They were 19 and then 22. Then we had to make it simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I told him we're going to call it Brick 20. So the Brick 20 are the fruits of the 16 biomechanical factors, that video that you saw. So that video explains all the factors that an exercise should meet to qualify as the number one exercise for a particular muscle.
Yeah.
So the Brick 20 is for those who don't understand, let's say, or don't want to spend time watching that video or understanding the principles.
Yeah.
They just want to go to do the exercises. Show me how I do it, what's the proper form, how to set up the machine, all that. That's the Brick 20. And some people think that it's 20 exercises, but it's not. It's 20 anatomical movements for the 20 primary muscles of the body.
Okay.
Sometimes one muscle can have more than one exercise.
Okay.
For example, the chest can have an exercise with dumbbells, free weight, but it also can have another Brick 20 exercise with cable.
Okay.
Okay. So the back, same thing, the middle trapezius, has only one exercise with cable. The quadriceps, there is at least 6 or 7 Brick 20 options.
Okay.
Okay. Plus, there are alternative exercises. So, all these exercises are part of the Brick 20 system. But that's what makes people choose based on how many days they want to work out and how they want their workout, the split of their workout. So 20 exercises does not mean that you have to do them all in the same session. Depending on your level, your availability, how you want to use the exercises.
When I heard the word biomechanics, I've heard the word. I just wanted to look it up and say, what does it really say? So I found biomechanics is the study of the mechanical laws relating to the movement or structure of living organisms. So the study of the mechanical laws relating to the movement or structure of living organisms. And then I looked it up. There is no single innovator of biomechanics, but its foundations were laid by ancient scholars like Aristotle, who described bodies as mechanical systems. The modern science began to develop with Giovanni Alfonso Borelli in the 17th century, often called the father of biomechanics, who combined mathematics, physics, and anatomy in his work De Motu Animalium. Later contributions from figures like Etienne Marey with his motion picture camera and the development of computer technology advanced the field significantly. Dr. Huan Cheng, or Bert, Feng, Young Cheng Feng, his name was Bert, is considered the father of modern biomechanics. And then I wrote on Doug Brignoli has used the science of biomechanics in this century to help anyone interested in better, safer, and more enduring exercises to achieve more and quicker gains from their workouts.
That's correct.
Yeah, because I wanted to, it's a nice word, biomechanics, but what does it really mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people use biomechanics because they just love the word and it sounds technical, so they want to impress people. But really, biomechanics is like using the law of physics, anatomy, neurology, and putting them toward exercise, like how to work out.
Correct.
So when you said three things: anatomy, physics,
And mathematics.
And mathematics. We say anatomy, physics, including the mathematics,
Yeah.
and neurology.
A neurology. Okay.
Neurology.
Okay.
Because neurology also plays a big role in choosing the best exercise. I'll give you an example. If you, for example, do squat,
Yeah.
and you're doing that squat for the goal of
Working the quads.
working the quads, well, there is a neurological thing that will happen to the rectus femoris, which it will shut off because the antagonist muscle is active. Okay.
Okay. What's
Which
the
is
rectus
like the
femoris?
glutes. This is the rectus femoris.
Or on the side
in
of the
middle.
quad?
No,
Or
here,
the middle of your
Yeah,
quad. Okay.
because it's part of the hip flexors.
Okay.
So it shuts off when you squat.
Oh, interesting.
So that means you are losing 25% almost of the development of your quads because of this neurological conflict.
Aha.
So with the Break 20, we eliminate the neurological conflict, meaning like when you work muscle in its ideal environment without recruiting peripheral muscle like other muscles,
Around it, yes.
you will eliminate these neurological conflicts. Then the load will go mostly to that targeted muscle. This is why we consider it efficiency, because now the load is going in the muscle you want to work,
Okay.
and you're not involved in other muscles. It also mimics the joint movement. That way also you're not hurting your joints. Because sometimes some exercises you feel, because of the physics of the exercise, you are using a lot of your joints,
Yeah.
and they are taking a lot of that movement.
Yeah.
Therefore, you're causing some joint problem, even though you still do the movement. But then you feel it later. So by mimicking the anatomical motion of the movement of the muscle,
Yeah.
and you're also stretching it in its anatomical, the best movement that will stretch it. So you're gaining strength and flexibility, mobility. So you're hitting two birds with one stone.
Yes.
And this is something that is not easy to achieve with conventional exercises.
Right.
Mostly they are designed for you to lift heavy weight. But heavy weight is part of what you need to get optimal muscle growth.
Okay.
Heavy weight and volume and exercise selection also. You need the right exercise that allow you to lift. Okay. And you have to avoid also these neurological conflicts and the things that they talked about too.
Yeah.
So these 16 factors are basically taken from things that exist. It's not an invention.
Right,
It existed since human beings
been
existed
around.
on Earth.
Yes.
It's just they were never put together in this way and applied to strength training.
So isolation of muscles is what you like to work on.
Okay,
I mean, isolation in a certain part. And when I was looking at the videos, then I saw one of them where I think you talk about doing squats. You just mentioned the word squats. And then people put these weights behind their head on their neck. And in order to put that kind of pressure on your spine, you have to engage muscles where you actually were trying to focus on your quad muscle.
Yes, like your
and so
erector
now
spine.
you can only use 100% of your muscles. So if you isolate the leg muscles specifically and do the exercise correctly, you actually use about 100% of your focus on the muscle. But if you do a squat, then what happens is you're working your back muscles, you're working your arm muscles, you're working your neck muscles, and you're working your quads, and you're really not isolating anything. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
So now you divide up the 100%
Yeah.
amongst other muscle groups that you were not trying to work on.
Right. So look, the squat is a good exercise if you're doing it for sport specific, for example.
Okay.
If it mimics something that you do in a sport, then the squat could be a good option for you.
Okay.
But that depends if you're doing that or not. What you said is correct. when you put the bar on your neck here,
Yeah.
and your goal is to load your quads, the load is loading your erector spinae. Each muscle, let's say here there is the erector spinae, the glutes, and the quads. Okay, and of course the core are working. So each muscle has a strength capacity. The glutes have the highest strength capacity, then the quads, then the lowest strength capacity is the erector spine.
Correct.
So now let's say your quads can lift 100 pounds.
Okay.
Okay. But that 100 pounds now that you have in on your back is shared by your erector spinae and your glutes. Therefore, if you put like 100 pounds, you're getting almost like 33 pounds or 40 pounds
Exactly.
of that load.
Yes.
So what do you need to do? You need to increase. You need to, let's say, to get to 100 pounds, you need to put 300 pounds.
Right.
The problem with that is that the strength capacity of the erector spinae is far inferior than the glutes and the quads.
Yeah.
Therefore, it will limit you from lifting the weight before you get the optimal weight that allows you to strengthen or increase in the growth of your
Super.
quads.
Yeah, makes sense.
So now what people do, they ignore that and they start to cave in, and that's when injury happens. Instead of going through that, you should isolate the muscle that you're trying to work with, let's say, a leg extension machine.
Yep.
And then now you have no load on your spine because you don't need to load it to work your quads. You're working it directly. And then you have maximum efficiency without the load on your spine.
Right.
Those exercises like the squat, the deadlift, the shoulder press and stuff, people know that we don't promote them, but that's for muscle growth.
Correct.
Okay, but this is the message maybe also that was missing before when we were doing videos with Doug. My specialty is strength and conditioning and sports specific. So we talked a lot about these exercises for muscle growth, but sometimes also we need to understand that some of these exercises can have their place in combination with the Brick 20 in a sport specific program.
Correct.
So when you understand that 16 factors, you start knowing what to select and how to combine. So you get the best results by combining exercises that many people think that, oh no, that's not a Brick 20, but that's for the purpose of your goal. That exercise can be super efficient, super helpful to get to your goal.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is why it's back to understanding what makes an exercise good, so it will help you with your exercise selection.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah.
It's very helpful. And so when you are playing football, you're
Soccer or football? Which one?
I know. You and I would say that is soccer.
Football is,
It's
yeah.
soccer. Yeah. But it will be a very different set of training and exercises than you would do for the American football
Yes.
or rugby,
Yes.
so to say, with the oval ball.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Or if you do gymnastics,
Yes.
or in your case you have played tennis and now you are starting to focus more on pickleball. You have introduced pickleball in Tunisia,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you're from originally, and that's an interesting thing because you're working. You just created an app. It's SmartTraining Pickleball.
Beyond Pickleball.
Beyond Pickleball
365.
Correct. Beyond Pickleball 365. And that app is going to help people for that sport to become the best they can be if they apply your methodology according to the app. Can you
Sure,
tell us
yeah.
a little bit about what it is with the app, what you're working on? And I know that after this one, you would like to create more apps that are going to be specific for sports. But what is so special about your app that you have been working on now and that is ready for people to use?
Right. So there are many things that I see. It's not because it's my app, but because I also looked at different
No,
apps.
you've been studying this.
Yeah, there are different things. First of all, it's the Brick 20. exercises themselves. That's unique because many people they have them in courses, so now they're gonna find them in the app. And with the Brick 20, you will find other sport-specific exercises that apply directly to pickleball, and they will help a lot the players who play pickleball because they mimic movements
Yeah.
and reflexes that happen on the court.
Okay.
And also injury prevention. Because let's say if you're a pickleball player or soccer player or whatever, any
Yeah.
sport you play, if you spend a lot of time playing that sport, you're going to develop, your knowledge going to improve, and your ability to understand the game will increase. That can surpass how strong you get. So if you don't also work out in the gym and strengthen your muscle, now your knowledge of the game will lead you to do some reactions or movements that your body is not ready for. Therefore, that's how injury can happen.
Yeah.
And I experienced this myself. And remind you, like, I've been working out all my life and I played tennis. So when I saw like this sport, pickleball,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
said, who's gonna get injured from this?
Yeah, exactly.
But when I played it regularly, the ball doesn't bounce as high as the tennis ball. So you're always bending down, okay? And sometimes the ball touches the net, so it becomes a drop shot while you were expecting it in the baseline. So now suddenly you find yourself need to sprint forward.
Sprinting forward.
And
yeah.
many people rupture their tendon because they go this way and then try to sprint forward, and that's what happened. Or sometimes they are on their flat feet and they want to react, and that's when they get injured. So all these things are mentioned in the app. We bring awareness, and we create exercises that will cover all these things. So they don't have to think about it, whether they understand biomechanics or not, but they can be comfortable using the exercise because there is science that backs it. Another thing, the app also uses your daily energy level, meaning like if you go, for example, to a gym and ask the trainer, I want to get stronger, I want to improve my speed and agility and, prevent injury.
Yeah.
So he will tell you, okay, the first month we're going to do like, wake up all the muscles and stuff. Then second month we're going to work on some muscle building. Then third month we're going to do some strength training and, we'll mix it up. So that's a fixed program. You will do it, let's say, 3 times a week. You go to that trainer and he will push you because that's why you're exactly right. The second day
you
will
be able to hurt
right?
afterwards, right?
And people tend to like, oh, I'm sore. And okay, that's good, but there are optimal time for recovery.
Yeah.
If you're working out and you didn't recover and you try to push yourself hard, then now you're not really going in the right direction. Yes, you're going to feel like, okay, you're adapt and stuff to a certain degree, but then you will end up getting injured.
Yeah.
So that trainer will push you hard no matter whether you slept well, you ate well, you recovered or not, didn't recover.
Or
he has to follow
maybe you're in your menstrual cycle, anything
yes,
like that.
absolutely.
It can all affect women. Mm-hmm.
All affect women. So that's the problem with like having a fixed periodization. The app takes in consideration, let's say if you have an adjustable biofeedback watch, like let's say iPhone, Samsung, Fitbit.
Yeah.
If you have that, you can sync to the app.
Okay.
And then the app, based on the goal you choose, will adjust the intensity of your workout every day.
Really?
Yeah. So it will take in consideration, okay, if your level today is, if your recovery says 75 and the workout you chose is requires a minimum of 85, then it will adjust the intensity of the workout. And the reason for that is because we don't want to jeopardize frequency. Okay. If you want to improve, you need to respect recovery. Therefore, you need the right intensity for that session toward the same goal. But we want you to get to recover, so the next session, you're also at your best.
Okay.
Because if I push you too hard today, you might require 3, 4, 5 days to recover.
Yeah.
Then each muscle is not going to get worked with the right frequency.
Right.
Okay,
Right,
so
right.
this is why understanding frequency, volume, intensity is very important, and the app does that for you.
Amazing. That's
Also,
amazing. I
yeah,
mean, the fact that it can adjust
yeah,
your workout based on what you're going through and how your energy level is for the day. If you had a bad night's sleep, or
yeah,
you something, you were maybe stressed at work the previous day, and you wake up and you go, "Oh man, I just didn't get enough sleep," but you still want to go work out, you can adjust the app.
yeah, and it can even also later, because now we're starting with different. I have a great team to work with, to be honest, because this is something that doesn't exist on the
No,
market.
it doesn't.
And we're not working with a template and we are building on it or we are editing it.
Yeah.
We're doing everything from scratch. There's no app that has a Brick 20 as our system, so we started it, you know. So we're working day and night to get this. So what is there now is going to be also evolve. It will also adapt to the moon phase, because
So,
the moon also has impact on the energy. Some people it affect them, other it won't, but it's there. And anything to me that has impact on the energy level should be considered. At least you should be aware of, so you know how to to do your session, right? Beside that, when you think the moon and the energy level and stuff, the app will suggest what is the best time for the day that you should work out.
oh,
So, for example, if your workout was scheduled in the morning
yeah.
and you're not ready for that, it will suggest, okay, in this morning, if you have the ability to switch, then you should do some stretching, mobility, focusing, visualization, and leave your strength training later today, so you
Okay.
can gain more energy and eat. Also, speaking of eating and nutrition,
Yeah, that's
this
an
also
important part.
going to be added later.
Uh-huh.
So it will cover also based on your energy level. So if you say, okay, this is what I'm going to do this day, and it already have like the data before, so it's going to adjust your calories so you stay sharp, you know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. How did you get that type of information about nutrition?
The nutrition is because I studied nutrition
Okay.
with the ISSA, but also this workout, the app is we're using AI as well.
Okay.
So the problem with AI is, like, if you don't tell it what you need exactly and how to adjust and adapt,
Yeah.
then it will start like come up with different things.
Yeah. It's
So
true.
all these things we are like, working on, so it becomes personalized for each person.
Wow.
And
It's
that's the
amazing.
problem.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing, yes,
Yeah.
but people need to see in the back end how things happen. It's very complicated, but it requires like more work when people try this and say, "Oh, can the app does this and that?" Then we will start changing and adding and adding and adding.
Yes.
Like, for example, now ChatGPT. Why it's becoming so powerful? Because everyone is asking questions and doing this and adding information to it, so it's getting more powerful. It's the same thing for the app. The more people use it and understand the patterns, the better it
Oh,
will
that
get.
makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, this is fascinating. Now, you wrote a book, Beyond Sets and Reps.
Yeah.
What was the concept behind that book?
So beyond sets and reps, basically, I put all my experience in it. Also in my other book, but it's all based on first the 16 factors and the Brick 20.
Okay.
So that's the foundation of the book. But then there are different goals. Like, for example, some people want to work toward longevity. Others want to recover from an injury or become better at their sport. So beyond sets and reps, because many people say, hey, how many sets should I do or how many reps?
Right,
But
right.
there is something beyond that. You need
Okay.
to understand that not all exercises are equally efficient. So therefore, it's not only how many sets and reps. You have to understand which exercise are you using, okay? What's your frequency, intensity, the periodization, what type of periodization? Is it fixed periodization, personalized periodization, energetic periodization?
What does that mean, periodization?
So periodization is like if you're doing, for example, a workout, how long that workout you're gonna be using it, how long you periodize.
Like
For
how
example,
many months, or
yes,
in the one day?
no, in how many months? For example, you start, let's say, toward hypertrophy for the first month, then you move on to strength, then you move on to full body workout, and then you do that again. So you periodize. So
Okay.
there are different things. It can be also during the week. You can change it. One session is strength oriented, the other one is hypertrophy, the other one is speed and agility. So each workout has different goals depending on what you want to achieve.
Yeah.
So the energetic periodization is what we talked about in the app. It takes like your energy and builds your workout based on that, not like fixed.
When I was looking at your app, SmartTraining 365, by the way, go to that website. You'll learn a lot. SmartTraining365.com. You see some great videos, great instructions. You see a lot of people who have given a testimonial about the success that they have had. And I highly recommend you check it out. I did, and I am amazed how much information is already out there and how much it will be growing. When I look at that, there is some of the feedback we get from people is that they did a training and they show a certification. Is it something that you recommend for people who are serious? As I said earlier, I think that understanding how the biomechanics of the body works and how you can work with it is actually good for anybody, no matter where your level is. But people who are serious about this and say, I have been working out for many years, I don't feel that I am growing in speed or strength or my reflexes, or I had expected more. When they go into this, what is the advantage for them to do a course? Let's call it a course or get a certification. Is that really only for people who want to become certified trainers, or is it really anybody can do it and actually learn a ton?
Anybody can do it because
Okay.
the knowledge that is inside the course is for anyone who value their time and energy and want to get the most out of it.
Yeah.
So yes, you can get certified. If you're a trainer, you can use that as a CEC, like continuing education credits,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they are required to do that every year. But we have many people who are not trainers. They just love the system and they want to be part of our community and get the certificate. And many, they send us like
And start
pictures
using it.
and start using
it
Yes.
to show the results, because so many people are saying, I've watched quite a few videos, and they're saying how quickly they're seeing results. We're talking 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Within 2 months, within 3 months. Certain people, depends on how often you
And
work
these
out.
people have been working out for a while.
Yeah.
It's not like newbies,
Yeah,
because you get the newbie gains and
Yeah, this older gentleman who was a bodybuilder, and he
Yeah.
really says it's just, I thought, how can they come up with something new? This is what I've done
That's
for 45 years or something like that. He had
Yeah.
worked out and he's been bodybuilding, and I don't know. He said, I actually started developing and improving muscles after the age of 60, which is usually very difficult to grow muscles when we get older, or to develop muscles as we get older. And that was somebody who said, pretty much your system made a believer out of him, because he was so programmed to do it the old way. And this is very eye-opening and very new. I may just have to start using it myself, because
Yeah.
I've never had really any training, and I'm a similar person. I just do what I've had personal trainers, but I do it the way they tell me, and then now I work from my memory and try things myself, but may just be worth it to get the certification and to focus attention to it.
For sure. And look, I recommend that people try different training systems, not only ours. The reason I say that, because each training system can teach you something.
As value.
Then when you try ours, you will understand the difference and how even you can use some of the other things and create your own program, because we all are unique. That does not mean that the Brick 20 don't work for everyone. They do, because they mimic the anatomical motion of these muscles. So everyone can flex their arm, you know. That's not our system.
Right, sure.
But the way you do it is you just have to mimic it with a specific position, with the right equipment, you know, with the proper technique. All those things, you can work each muscle individually, and then you can add to it. If you love yoga, you can add to it the yoga. If you have Beyond, if you have pickleball, you can do that with pickleball. The thing is, you are working on your foundation.
Correct.
The strength.
Yes.
And let's say many people who tend to choose exercises in the gym that they feel comfortable with is because unconsciously they are working muscles that are already strong. And they are leaving the weak muscle weak.
Yes.
So they will never catch up. So the thing is, they have to focus on the weak muscle, so they eliminate or reduce the muscle imbalance, which can cause injury, especially if you put your body to test and speed and sprinting and all those things. And the Brick 20 actually help you with muscle imbalance. Like, it will help you reduce it or eliminate it.
Okay.
That's why it's good for injury prevention, because you're working each muscle and giving it your full attention. When you're working, if you're working, for example, your erector spinae in the squat, you're not working it dynamically. It's working, you know, isometrically. And muscle grow best when worked dynamically. It does not mean that isometric exercises don't have a place for a specific goal. You just have to first work that muscle dynamically, and then if
know
you
where
want
it is,
exactly,
to feel it,
to
to
strengthen
isolate it, to isolate it in your
Right.
mind, that you know what to pay attention to
Exactly.
as you move forward in your exercises.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's very important that you work all your muscles like that, plus working them with compound exercises, if your discipline requires that, because you give it you give the opportunity for that muscle to grow or to get stronger. But when you're doing it with compound exercises, some muscle maybe fire a little bit, but they will never get optimal loading.
Yes.
Okay, that's why focus on each muscle separately, then add the other exercises. And this is what all the books talk about, the courses, YouTube videos, you know, even for longevity, same thing.
I want to come back to those 16 factors that you talk about. And you say in the beginning of the video, you say, you probably will have to look at the video several times. It's about 21, 22 minutes. I looked at it once, and I thought indeed afterwards I have to look at it again, because I have a tendency to be very visual. So I see you do exercises, but then I realized, I got like, oh, that's the exercise. But then in a way, as part of the video, you actually say, this is not how you want to do it. So it's like, oh, wait a second. You know, so can you give us some ideas about these factors that you talk about? Give us a few examples of some of those factors. I know one of them was, for example, using a dumbbell for your bicep, and how you use it, it would be better to isolate, to use a dumbbell instead of a bar that has weights on it, because you really want to isolate one muscle group. Can you explain some of that, please?
That is the cross education, for example, one of the 16 factors.
Yeah.
When you work with a separate instrument in each arm,
Yeah.
there is a cross-in benefit that goes to the other limb when you're doing it as compared to when using a bar, for example, and both limbs are sharing one instrument. So, for example, why can this be beneficial? Say if you have an injured right arm,
Yeah.
if you work your left arm, some of the benefit between 10 to 15, 16% can cross to the other arm.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. If you write with your right arm and
Yeah.
when you try with your left, you still can do it
Yeah.
to a degree.
Yeah.
It's similar with strength, and reflexes. So that's one of the 16 factors. The other factor is choosing the right weight. For example, if I want to do a full range of motion exercise
Yes.
and I choose the wrong weight, and the wrong weight does not mean only heavy, it can be light. Light, you're not stimulating the muscle. If you want to use that for a warm-up set, that's
Yeah.
fine, okay? But you need to use the right weight, and that depends on your goal. Let's say if your goal is hypertrophy, you want to do, let's say, 12 reps with the weight that if I let you say, okay, do as many as you can, you have to stop at 14,
Okay.
okay? Not like 20.
Okay.
So always keeping 2 reps in reserve.
Interesting.
That's the right weight. If you do, if I give you, for example, a weight that allows you to do 30 reps, you're not going to stimulate the muscle fibers for like at least 20 reps, only toward the end. But some people adapt or it works for them the long sets, and other people grow better with short sets.
Okay. Okay.
And depending on the body frame and what they are used to and their cardio, how good is their cardio?
Right. So because I visualize that if I were to do a dumbbell, let's say with my right arm, that if the weight becomes too much,
Yeah.
then I'm using my forearm. I'm trying to work on my bicep.
But you
And-
start bringing your arm forward, so now you're involving your shoulder, to
And
curl
if,
it.
if that becomes the issue, then your weight is too heavy.
Yes. You can cheat a little bit.
Okay.
And by cheating, meaning like you already did 10 good reps. And if you want to finish, 2 reps
And
by
compromise a
cheating,
little bit.
compromise, that's fine. Okay. But preferably, you got to finish with a good form, keeping 1 or 2 reps in reserve. This is the most important part
Wow.
of it.
Okay. Okay.
The weight, you have to know the right weight. And my advice for people is like, let's say if you want to get good stimulation from an exercise, to know the right weight that allows you to do 12 good reps, you have to test. Do that exercise, try different weights. If you choose this weight and you can do 20, that's too light. Then you have to increase the weight till you get like to the 12, and you can do 1 more rep after 12, but that's the right weight. Then you have to track it, because after some time you're going to get stronger, so that weight you can do now more, 13, 14, 15 reps.
Yeah.
Then you have to adjust the weight.
Okay.
So the weight is not randomly selected,
No.
like many people go there and then they put the pin in like 100 just because the other guy is doing 100. So they look good,
That's right. That's right.
No,
Yeah.
you have to use the right weight, and this is why like each person is different.
And then if they are working specifically for a certain sport
Yeah.
that they want to excel in, or in this case, let's say pickleball, to avoid injuries, you may recommend certain exercises and say, start with this kind of weight and then work your way up.
That's right.
Yeah.
And also what's interesting about that, I'm pro injury prevention.
Yeah.
So that part is covered with the Brick 20. But in the sport specific, there are exercises that we recommend that have a small degree of like that can cause
Variation.
injury.
Oh.
Variation, yeah, but in a controlled way. Because let's say if you're trying to do an overhead, okay, you're going to raise your arm.
Right.
We are against overhead presses, but in an overhead, you're going to raise your arm. So there will be some exercises where you raise your arm like that, but with lightweight and higher reps.
Aha.
Okay.
Okay.
So again, if someone who only heard us before saying like, don't do overhead, and now they hear this,
Yes.
they say, oh, Mo completely diverted, but it's not, because if you understand the 16 factors, then you understand that when you're working out for a sport, you need to mimic some of the shots of that sport with exercises that are similar to what you do on the court.
Right.
But you have to cover your bases by working your foundation. The Brick 20, they have to be always there on top of the sport specific, because they will allow you to handle more exercises that can cause stress or injury better.
Give us an example then of Brick 20. What you mean? What are some Brick 20? Give us an idea what you're talking about. Give me a few examples, please.
Okay, I'll give you an. For example, in pickleball,
Yeah.
you're doing this movement a lot, like backhand.
Okay. Yeah.
So you are working your infraspinatus.
Okay.
So you mimic that movement with weight.
Okay.
So you're working that muscle in its ideal environment. Okay, you're challenging it without trying to use other muscles.
Wow.
Okay. Then you do your stabilizer muscles with, let's say, for the middle trapezius, you do it with the scapular retraction, we call it.
Like with certain bands or
No,
with
it's cables.
cable. Okay.
Yeah, we have a machine that we love so much, and whenever people see me walking in the gym, oh, here we go again, that guy gonna
cable guy.
stay in that machine forever. It's the adjustable dual cable machine. It's like
Yes.
it has two handles where
Yeah.
you can adjust, and that's a great one because it can align with the width of your shoulders.
Correct.
You don't want to like do curls with cable and the cables are wider than your shoulder, then you're going to start doing this, right? You want to have alignment, which is another factor of this of the 16.
Yeah.
Okay, so stabilizing your shoulders with scapular retraction will allow you to have a solid base so your arm can work properly. Okay,
see.
your delts, you're doing side raises, front raises, rear delts. Okay, all these exercises allow you to be more explosive on the court, and you can use your body better. So even the training and playing more pickleball, by just doing the Brick 20, even the sport specific, you don't need to. But if you do that regularly with practice and drills, you will improve tremendously.
Huh.
Yeah, because that exercise becomes your strength training.
Aha.
But again, you covered your bases with the Brick 20 foundational exercises.
Okay. You have another one example I saw in your video, in the video about the different factors, was, for example, the bench press. And so using the bar with the weights on it, doing the bench press, it has a very different, it does not really have the effect you're looking for your
pectoral development.
Pectoral muscles. You're better off using individual barbells, laying flat, and then work them how you want them, how you need them.
And that's range of motion, another factor. Full range of motion is recommended for muscle growth, meaning like in this case, the chest is stretched in this position. Okay.
Correct.
And to have full contraction, this is where your upper arm should end.
Okay.
With the bench press, your arm goes this way. So you are missing all this range of motion.
Okay.
And you're compensating with your front delts and triceps. So now all that weight is shared by the chest, the front deltoid, the triceps, and the forearm.
Yes.
Okay. So you're deprived. This is why people add more weight, because they feel the chest can handle more. But now because they're going through the triceps with its strength capacity inferior than the chest,
Yes.
it will limit them to get more weight to stimulate the chest properly.
Yeah.
So this is why, like, if you mimic that exercise, this movement with cable, you adjust the pulleys at the width of your elbows, so you have the cable aligned with your with your elbow,
Elbows.
and then you push straight forward. Now this arm is not active, because when you do it here, you're using your tricep. Now when you have this lever in parallel with the direction of resistance, this limb is neutral, but this limb is fully loaded, which is what we want, because that's where the chest
Pectoral
is
muscle,
attached, is
yeah.
the insertion. So now you have all that load. Let's say you can use 100 pounds, and you're getting like almost 100 pounds going to your chest, especially if your technique is good. But if you do 100 pounds with the barbell, you're going to have 100 pounds, but shared with
Too much
two other
strain.
muscles, like no, shared with your triceps and your front delts.
I
So
see.
your chest might be getting 40 pounds, 50 pounds, but not the 100 pounds.
Okay.
So you see here, this is efficiency. You are using 100 pounds and you're getting almost 100 pounds, versus the other one, you're using 100 pounds, a lot of effort, but you're getting 30 pounds or 40 pounds.
Correct. Because you can only produce 100%.
Because of the physics of the exercise is
Correct.
different.
Yes. Yes.
So yes, the barbell allows you to lift heavy weight, but the goal is not to lift heavy unless you're a power lifter.
I see.
Then it doesn't matter, because all what we talk about goes out of the window. We don't need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Mind you, like we had a seminar with a group of power lifters
Okay.
who found out that the Brick 20 helped them so much with the small muscles that are used during the heavy lifts. And it helped them even reduce the injury that they faced, like the lower
For
back.
them, it happens really quickly.
And
Oh
when
my
it happens,
goodness.
it's bad.
And long-term
Long-term.
healing. Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So they saw that the Brick 20 can be part of the foundation work they do, beside the heavy days that they do for the big movements, big compound movement. So that's an example to show you that these exercises have their place. It depends what your goal is.
Yes.
So I'm sure you have people that comes to you for longevity, and
Yeah, sure.
so what usually they say about workout, or what kind of you see?
I don't
like,
have too many people coming in about workouts specifically. It's more with other ailments. They're dealing with thyroid issues, or they're dealing with cancer, or blood pressure issues, or cholesterol, or hormonal imbalances, for example.
What about
Depression,
muscle
anxiety.
loss?
Muscle loss, again,
Atrophy
I
and
don't have too many people come in for that. That's not what they come to me for.
Right.
You know,
Because with our audience,
I mean, let me say it this way. I want to, since you talk about muscle loss,
Yeah.
yes, I notice it when I talk to men, older men, and older women post-menopause, who literally say, my bones are getting brittle, my muscles are becoming weak, they don't like the way the energy is during the day, they get hurt more quickly, and same for men as well, that they say, yeah, I want to do testosterone therapy. And I said, because? I said, I'm not saying I'm against it. I said,
Yeah.
but I want to understand why.
Why?
I said, if you come to me, I want to know why. Well, I just, I don't chase the wife around the house anymore, or I don't have the muscle when I go to the gym. And I tell them that we make more hormones than just testosterone, and you cannot just raise testosterone
And leave the other.
without watching the estradiol conversion, because when we increase estradiol, there is an increase in prostate cancer and cardiovascular problems. And most men have never heard of the word estradiol. And so they will not ask their doctor about it, and they will not read about it. They just think that they make testosterone, and women think they only make estrogens. And we make all the same hormones, except that men make more DHEA and testosterone. Women make more estrogens and more progesterone, but otherwise we make all the same hormones. And so when I explain that to them, then they say, okay, I get it. And then what I usually recommend is that they do a blood test on their hormones, and that we understand what their baseline is, so that if I do recommend a dietary supplement, or when I do recommend certain activities, that in 3 months, it usually takes, when you start using certain supplements for hormones, for example, it roughly takes, you will start seeing improvement, but to see the benefit of that supplement on you, it will take roughly 2 months. So I always say for some people 8 weeks, 2 months happens already after 7 weeks. Some people it may take 10 weeks, but I always say go 3 months.
Yes.
So I want to see the plateauing. I want to see where you have reached, where you are stable. And then we redo the test after 3 months, and that will tell me if whatever I recommended to you is working or not working. So then we can either say use a new supplement or do something different in that aspect. And that is indeed an issue that is a new concept for people, that hormones are so important, that they are such an integral part of getting older, that the hormones can go back to a youthful level. There's no law that says we cannot have hormones, right? We need hormones. As the hormones drop, aging kicks in. And so the more we work on our hormones balancing, the better it is. And an hormone imbalance can also affect the thyroid. So the thyroid is very strongly affected by an imbalance between estrogens and progesterone, between DHEA and cortisol. So the stress level in life, whatever it is, the same thing that you actually bring up. You can only produce 100% of your muscles. So if you are isolating the muscle and do a higher percentage of using that muscle in your exercise, you're going to have the most benefit.
Right.
If you spread it out between all different muscles with one exercise, you only get a certain percentage of that muscle.
Right.
And so it is the same if you dealing with stress. The stress at that point is your fight or flight. This is what you thrive on. This is what you think is important for you right now. But if you do that now and then, your hormones will recuperate, the other hormones. If you spend a lot of time in stress and always type A personality, you will have to sacrifice your muscle development.
Right.
You're going to have to affect it. And the muscle development and the other hormones. Your body can only make so many. You can only make 100% hormones. And it depends what you focus on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. And also the myostatin level, because sometimes people have different levels of myostatin. So those who are born with a higher level of myostatin, they have a hard time building muscle. Therefore, when they get older, they lose muscle quickly. And to slow down that, like to give them the opportunity to build muscle, is when during the workout or the challenge of working out.
Yeah.
And some people are born with low myostatin, so it's like they have anything they do give them muscle growth.
Correct.
Which the reason I'm saying this, because if someone, let's say, start losing muscle or genetically not blessed, they should use exercises that are highly efficient, especially if they are not blessed, because at least they can increase their chances to build muscle or maintain it, so they don't lose, especially 50s, 60s, 70s. You know, it's important to be able to do that. And also, people tend to lose muscle because they don't challenge it with enough intensity.
Okay.
They just go through the motion.
Yes.
And they are not recruiting enough muscle fibers. So if you see like the people who still look good,
as they get older,
as they get older, they always have some kind of exercises where they put like 100% of their energy. The thing is, the exercise should be safe, so they can do that to achieve it. And at least it has to happen once a week.
Okay.
Yeah, if you don't challenge your whole body that way at least once a week, you're going to lose muscle fast. So it's better to have like continuous intensity that you can handle and you can recover. And then the last, for example, session, in the last set, you can like go all in with an exercise that involves all your muscle together. It can be even a rower. You can
Okay.
go all in.
Yeah,
you can do body weight squat,
Yeah.
and you can do till you can't or jumping
You
body
don't
weight
mind.
jumping
You don't
squat.
mind body weight squats?
No,
Okay.
because you're not putting any load on your
How about
spine.
lunges? You like lunges?
Lunges, perfect.
Yeah. You don't
Yeah.
even have to do weights. You can just do more
With
lunges.
your body weight.
Yeah.
And lunges are part of the alternatives for the glutes for the Brick 20.
Yeah.
You just have to hold if you don't have balance, so you can focus on the movement.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to hold, that will be good for a sport specific exercise, especially, for example, pickleball. There's
Yeah.
a lot of lunges, especially if you're lateral
Yes.
lunges on the
Yes.
kitchen, or to hit a ball that is short, you got to lunge forward.
Now,
So
if you-
lunges are great.
If you do lunges and you get better at it, body weight, and you want to add weight,
Yeah.
then you would grab dumbbells and hold
Yes,
them down.
you can do
right? You
that
don't
too.
put anything in your neck or in your
No, you don't have to. You can also wear like
Or
the
vest.
the vest,
Yeah, heavy
weighted
vest.
heavy vest.
Yeah.
If you're an athlete and you're using, let's say, 10 or 20 pounds, that's not going to damage your spine, and you're doing it for certain sports like that, that's still fine too, as long as it's not like a heavyweight. But if that's the only option you have,
Yeah.
right?
What are some good exercises for core that are where you isolate core? What are some of the ways that you say when you do it this way, you really have the most benefit from core exercises?
Brick 20 exercises. And the
Okay.
core are like
So
four
with
muscles.
any exercise, you always go back to the brick 20.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
And here is, if we talk about the core means like your rectus abdominis,
Yeah,
your
exactly.
internal and external obliques,
Yeah.
your erector spinae, and the QL muscle. So we work those with like crunches.
Yeah.
So some people can do crunches on a flat surface.
Yeah.
They have no problem. Those who have, like, let's say, pain in the back, they can do it on a slightly inclined bench with their knees, like 45 degrees to their
Okay.
torso.
Okay.
And they just, do these crunches like that to work the rectus abdominis.
So crunches are better than sit-ups.
The crunches, sit-ups, like what kind of sit-ups you're talking about?
All the way sit up, put your hand behind your head and
Yeah,
just
because
come
you
all the
see,
way up.
like that one, you're using your legs to also lift your upper body all the way up.
Right.
The the function of the abs is to bend your torso this way. That's
see.
it. Not to bring your upper body all the way up, because now you're using your hips, you're using your legs a little bit,
Yeah.
to raise up.
Okay.
So now we're talking about isolating the rectus abdominis.
I see.
Then you do like the
side.
side, not with dumbbells,
No.
because you want to challenge the muscle horizontally. So you do it with cable. You'll have the cable here, and you're like bent to the side.
Okay.
Okay, then you can do like the internal obliques with the cable as well. You have the cable here, and you turn this way.
I see.
And then you do for the erector spinae, torso extension. You can do it with your tailbone against the wall. You lean slightly forward, you hunch in, and then you stretch, you contract your back. So you keep the movement this way only.
Okay.
And many people don't do this movement. They can't. They do this. They go with their full body, but you have to be able to do this. So when you work all these muscles,
Yeah.
okay, then you have a stronger core. Some people say, okay, I cannot do this because I have pain in my back or whatever. Then they can lighten the weight that they are using.
Yeah.
And if they cannot do any crunches, then in that case, plank can be an option. But remember, plank is, it's not a dynamic movement.
That's right.
Right. So
It's
remember
holding.
when
It really,
exactly
yeah.
isolation, not isolation. Remember, we need dynamic movement,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
To work. So if you have some pain, then the plank will be an option.
Okay.
But I don't go for it as the number one option.
All right. Push-ups are okay?
Where? In the
do you
gym
mean?
or at home or while you're traveling in a hotel
Sure.
or when?
When?
Yeah.
Well, I do it all in the gym.
Well, look, push-ups are a good exercise because it's a good exercise if you want to like athletic movement, you want to lift your whole body and stuff. From an optimal muscle growth, no,
Yeah.
because you're using your arms, you're using your triceps,
Yeah,
your
yeah,
front
yeah.
delts, and then you get a chest. Yes, you're gonna get a nice pump because you're gonna do many of
Yeah,
it,
you bet.
right?
Yeah.
But I do push-ups when I'm not in the gym. But I see people doing push-ups in the gym when there is like a dual cable machine, which will
Okay.
give you more benefit.
I
That
see.
energy that you're using
Yeah.
for the push-up, use it in the machine.
I get it.
You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why I said where.
Where?
If
Yeah.
I'm going, if I'm on a trip or like in a hotel and I want to work out, then I will be doing like body weight squats,
Sit-ups,
jumping
of course.
squats,
Yeah.
yeah, abs, push-ups.
I see.
Those will be the exercise because that's the only option I have.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's why
So,
like it's important to understand when to use. So, for example, you see, the push-up is not part of the Brick 20,
aha.
but when you're in a hotel, I'll
You
recommend
can
the push-up
compromise it.
because that's the only option you have.
Yes, that's right. Wow. Fascinating.
Yeah, you have to
I think it is
understand
a
when.
fascinating topic. I think it is awesome. You have done a lot of work on this. You have really focused on it, isolated it. You said you started working with Doug Brignoli, who himself was a bodybuilder,
Yeah,
also from a very young age. He
yeah,
passed away sadly in 21 or 22?
22.
22, and he had done it for 45 years. He was
Yes.
really, and I know that he was a natural bodybuilder. He may have used something in the past,
In the
but
beginning
in the
of his
beginning
career,
because we didn't know,
that
right?
was normal
Right,
for
right,
them at
right,
the
right.
time, like when he was working out at Bill Pearl.
And then he's been a champion. He looks, I mean, his pictures. He looks impressive.
Yeah,
He's amazing.
golden era style.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful. Now, nutritionally and supplement wise,
Yeah.
what are some of the things that come up in your training? Because it is one thing to go to the gym and work on these muscles in isolation, which I absolutely think I highly recommend people and myself. I need to do more studying on your website, SmartTraining365. To learn more about it and to maybe I should do the course myself just to start implementing it in my own life. As far as nutrition is concerned, what have you noticed are things that really benefit people?
To be honest, nutrition is not my specialty, but I can give you like my own, like what I believe in. And I think nutrition depends on each person, their background, what has been working for them. Because I'm originally from Tunisia.
Yeah.
So I grew up on eating more vegetables, Mediterranean
Yeah, Mediterranean diet.
cuisine, right?
Yeah.
Diet. So to me, that's what it means. And I always felt good. I increased more protein intake when I understood that that's what is required for muscle building. And what I eat mostly is like beef, steak, eggs, fish. That's my sources. But I don't
Yeah.
eat a lot of carbs. I eat it sometimes before the workout or
Oh,
sometimes after the workout,
okay.
like but in low doses. But I also eat high quality fat, walnuts, olive oil,
Fish oil, flax
fish oil,
oil.
all those things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the good oils.
yeah, and I feel good. The thing is, with nutrition is tricky because sometimes something that worked for someone before doesn't work for them today. And I give you an example. Doug Brignoli, he was following the American diet,
Okay.
and that's when he found out after that he has calcium.
Okay.
Okay, so then he changed his diet to like a high fat, more protein, and lower carbs, and
Correct.
that worked for him.
Yeah.
So depends where you are and how your health is developing, and genetic sometimes. And earlier you were saying about the hormones, and I also think that some people, when they start taking, I might be wrong, but when they start taking, let's say, growth hormone or like testosterone, they go into increase their muscle mass, so they're going to have some benefit. But I think they also go into awaken some of the cells that were dormant, and they start to express. And it might be something good, it might be something bad.
Okay.
So because we don't have control on what is it that you only want to grow, everything will grow together. And they found out even
Should
here that
grow.
his heart was a little bigger than normal.
Yeah.
And that tells you, like, because when we use these supplements and
Yeah.
growth hormone
Yeah.
and stuff, yes, we see the muscle from the outside get big, but the organs also, but that we don't see it.
Correct. Good point. And it is indeed that if you're looking for muscle growth,
Yeah.
literally muscle growth, men and women,
Yeah.
right? Then when you see the muscle growth, you feel great.
Yes.
But like you say, you need to look at the body as a
Inside.
whole and the mind as a whole.
Yeah.
It's good for the ego to have a
For sure.
certain,
For sure.
but at the same time, that's why I like so much. That's what I like so much about your technique. This is for anybody. Anybody who says I move, or even people who do a job, a physical job, whereby they isolate muscles so much in their work that many other muscles are being ignored. And over time, they start getting injuries. So even because I've wondered for years, why do people who work in construction every day, or like 5-6 days a week, many people who work independently, they work often 7 days a week in order to get the job done. And then they still go to the gym. And I understand now that better that it is because they want to work on other muscle groups in order to help to support the muscles that they need to use for work.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So learning how to use all the muscles is very important, and nutrition is indeed very important. And that, to me, you hear so many different diets out there. I think that as people develop this, working with SmartTraining 365 and the Brig 20, that they're going to notice maybe a certain need for nutritional changes. Because when you use up a lot of energy, often you think I can recuperate this by eating more carbohydrates because it gives them immediate satisfaction. But the issue is that I've learned that the carbohydrates, they taste good usually, and they feed the brain immediately. And so the brain says, oh, I'm good again. But as you swallow that food or you swallow that liquid, the body doesn't know what to do with it. And the body functions better on proteins and fats and not as much on carbohydrates, where the brain loves sugar. So it is quickly satisfied, and then we think, oh, we're good, but then we keep snacking, we keep eating, and it would be better for most of us to actually, by that point, really start looking at nutrition.
Right.
What can I do to actually maintain that I don't crave all the time, but that I really get disciplined in when I eat, how much I eat, etc. I know
And
people who
when
snack
I
all
eat.
day long. And
When should I eat? I think timing is extremely important, because if we look to, for example, someone who is explosive, and the nutrition, it's based on, let's say, high fat. We know that fat gives you like long sessions, endurance. But if you need explosivity, carbs works well for certain exercises and certain discipline.
Yes.
So let's say during the day that you have explosivity, I think it's better the previous day to have carbs, so it's ready to be used during the explosive day. A tennis player, for example, will benefit from both.
Okay.
Because if you play tennis, you need endurance, but you need also explosivity.
Absolutely.
So you need to combine these two sources, but also you need your vegetables for those nutrients to get highly absorbed, and the vitamins and all that. But also you need the protein to be able to
Yeah.
recover and rebuild those muscle tissues and fibers that you broke. And it's something that you do every day, especially if you win. The next day you're gonna have another match with the same intensity till the finals. So sometimes during a whole week you will be playing intensely. So you need the two sources. Someone who's not into that extreme, then I feel that they can use like mostly
They're a
their
bit more
energy source.
flexible.
They can use like more fat or more carb,
Yeah.
depending on how also their insulin sensitive they are. Because not everyone has the same insulin sensitivity.
Totally,
So they
totally.
can absorb maybe more.
Yeah.
In that case, the carbs, it's not going to harm them like someone who's not insulin sensitive and dependent on their lifestyle. And
Yeah.
so that's why I think nutrition is very complicated, and it can be simplified, and it can work if you try and test, but not everyone is willing to do that. And sometimes you don't have the right people to guide you. It's
Right.
very hard to find someone who can tell you, okay, here is what you need to do in this case, and you change.
It's hard. A lot of people are so ingrained in what they were raised on and what tastes good and makes them feel good. It's very difficult to make a change in that. But those who do are noticing very quick results.
Yes.
And so the nutrition is part of it, the exercise is part of it. I really have enjoyed this interview, Mo. It's
Thank you
really
very much. I
great.
enjoyed the interview too.
Yeah, thank you.
I was looking
learned a
forward
lot.
because I know you're someone who asks the right questions.
I sure hope so. And I do hope that all of you have enjoyed this interview. I highly recommend you look at the SmartTraining 365. Look at the app, and also look up Mo's book. You can get it on Amazon for one, and there may be some other sources beyond sets and reps.
Yeah, that one is on Amazon. Actually, all three books are on Amazon.
Yeah.
So Beyond Sets and Reps basically covers what we talked about in
Yeah,
this
it's great.
episode. And Beyond Tennis, Beyond Pickleball, the same way too.
Fascinating. I wish you well. I wish you
Thank
well
you
with
very
this
much.
whole project. I'm looking forward to seeing the app, and I'm looking forward to people try the app and that you learn more about this, because like I said in the beginning, it's and now for something completely different, the good old Monty Python English show. To me, this approach by Mo and his work that he is continuing with and working with great people to make this available to all of us is fascinating. So I hope you check it out. This is different, and I hope that you will feel different in a good way by searching more and looking up more. Do more research is what I should say. Do more research on this. So all the best. Thanks for listening, and thanks for viewing today. And hopefully you will tune in for another episode of Health in Focus with Jacobus. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great to be
Visit
here.
healthinfocusnow.com.